In modern life, the police force is seen as a symbol of protection and justice, entrusted with the responsibility of maintaining social order and safeguarding the rights of citizens. However, those who wear the blue uniform do not always uphold this noble mission. In some cases, the power they wield becomes a tool of oppression, intimidation, and abuse, leading to unnecessary tragedies. The story of Officer Greg Matt serves as a quintessential example where arrogance and abuse of power led him down a path that destroyed his career and reputation in an instant. One ordinary afternoon on Maple Street, Greg Matt, a police officer exuding confidence but harboring prejudice and disdain, allowed the power in his hands to overshadow his professional duties. Instead of protecting the public, Greg used his badge as a weapon to suppress and insult others. When he encountered Marcus Harris, a well-dressed black man, Greg didn't see a citizen deserving respect but rather an opportunity to exert his authority. Greg's arrogance and unwarranted actions not only brought injustice to Marcus, but also eroded public trust in the legal system. The conflict between Greg and Marcus was not merely an isolated event, but a symbol of the broader struggle for rights and justice in a society where power is sometimes abused to undermine the most fundamental human values. On that warm afternoon at the corner of Maple Street, the confrontation between two seemingly unrelated individuals painted a vivid picture of what happens when authority is placed in the hands of someone unworthy of wielding it. Greg, a cop full of arrogance and self-importance, stepped out of his patrol car, his scrutinizing gaze betraying deep-seated prejudice as he looked at Marcus, a black man in a sharp suit. For Greg, the power he held was a shield that allowed him to do anything he wanted, ignoring ethical standards and the law. What Greg didn't anticipate, however, was that his opponent was not a weak individual easily subdued by harsh words or violent blows. Marcus, with his confident and composed demeanor, represented resilience and self-respect, a figure embodying the spirit of unyielding resistance to injustice. The encounter quickly escalated from a provocative question to Greg's unnecessary act of violence. While Marcus remained calm and responded respectfully, Greg became increasingly agitated, using an ID check as an excuse to harass and threaten. Even when struck unexpectedly by Greg's punch, Marcus did not falter. Instead, he stood firm, his sharp gaze delivering an unmistakable message. This injustice would not be tolerated. That moment marked a shift from a personal abuse of authority to a larger struggle for dignity, fairness, and human rights. When Marcus calmly revealed his true identity as the new police chief, with authority far exceeding Greg's, the tables turned completely. Greg's arrogance instantly gave way to fear and confusion. What he once saw as invincible power became the very source of his downfall. More noteworthy than Greg's downfall was Marcus's response to the situation. He did not let anger or humiliation dictate his actions. Instead, Marcus chose the right path, using the law as a tool to reclaim justice. He called his colleagues to the scene, ensuring the matter was handled according to proper protocol without letting emotions interfere with his decisions. This was the clearest manifestation of civilized and correct resistance, a fight not waged with violence but with transparency and principles. In this context, Marcus not only reclaimed his own rights, but also sent a powerful message to everyone witnessing the scene. Justice cannot be manipulated by power, and the truth always finds its way to the surface. The image of Greg handcuffed and taken away while Marcus stood tall amidst the admiring gaze of the crowd became a powerful symbol. It demonstrated that even when confronted with oppression and injustice, individuals can prevail by steadfastly believing in their values and persistently fighting to defend them. In this story, Marcus was more than a character. He represented the resilience of the oppressed worldwide, those who dare to rise not for revenge but to affirm their inherent dignity and demand fair treatment. The conflict between Greg and Marcus, therefore, was not merely a personal incident, but a profound lesson for society. It served as a reminder that power is not a privilege to oppress others, but a responsibility that must be exercised with integrity and fairness. Marcus, with his calm and righteousness, proved that justice can triumph and that principled resistance yields enduring value far beyond any fleeting power. The story began with a simple clash but quickly escalated into an unjust confrontation, where Greg used force to suppress Marcus without legitimate cause. Yet, the conclusion flipped the narrative completely as Greg discovered that Marcus was no ordinary man, but the new captain of the very police department Greg worked for. Greg's violent behavior exposed not only personal misconduct but also broader questions about how those in power exercise their authority. In a society built on fairness, such actions harm not just individuals but the entire community. Marcus Harris was more than just a character in this dramatic tale of opposing abuse of power. He was a vivid embodiment of composure, determination, and the spirit of fighting for justice. His presence in the story delivered a powerful impact, not merely because he stood up against Greg Matt's wrongful actions, but because of how he faced injustice with exemplary conduct, earning universal admiration. Marcus didn't choose the path of retaliation through violence or anger. Instead, his calm demeanor and confidence stemmed from a deep sense of integrity and understanding of his rights and responsibilities. His actions were not just a response to personal insults, but a powerful declaration. Justice cannot be trampled by anyone, no matter how much power they hold. Marcus inspired by showing that in any situation, maintaining one's stance, resisting provocation, and acting within the bounds of the law are the only ways to protect one's rights correctly. His handling of the situation demonstrated that calmness and self-control are not signs of weakness, but the highest expression of inner strength and intellect. When wrongfully insulted and assaulted, Marcus did not allow anger to dictate his actions. He did not stoop to the level of his wrongdoer. Instead, he used the very tools of justice, the law, to protect himself and hold Greg accountable for his misconduct. This is the significant lesson Marcus imparts. In the most challenging times, what matters is not physical strength or immediate retaliation, but the ability to remain calm, act wisely, and adhere to principles. The story of Marcus also conveyed a powerful message about resilience and faith in the legal system, despite its flaws. He didn't choose to address the issue with violence or outrage, but trusted that the system would operate justly when challenged. This decision highlighted his moral values and social responsibility. Marcus didn't just fight for himself. He fought for others who might have been or would be in similar situations. He became an inspiration for everyone to rethink how they confront injustice, showing that standing up for one's rights doesn't necessarily require force or direct confrontation, but can be achieved through intelligence, understanding, and faith in greater values. Furthermore, Marcus's story underscored that everyone has the power to change perceptions of justice and responsibility. When he faced Greg as a captain, it wasn't just his position that shifted the narrative, but how he used that position to make Greg face the consequences of his actions. Marcus didn't exploit his authority for revenge, but used it to uphold fairness and set an example for others. This was a compelling message. Real power lies not in controlling others, but in using it to serve justice and the community. As the story concluded, Marcus's image lingered in the reader's minds as a reminder that everyone has the potential to make a difference, not through grandiose or extraordinary acts, but through correct choices and commitment to core values. Marcus was proof that one individual can not only transform their own life, but inspire others to do the same, creating a society that is fairer, better, and more humane. He taught us that, in any circumstance, standing up for what's right is an action worthy of honor, and everyone has the strength to do so with courage and steadfastness in their beliefs. Marcus was not just a character but a symbol of justice, confidence, and the unyielding spirit of resistance. From this perspective, the story is not merely about Greg or Marcus but a wake-up call for all of us about the power of authority, the responsibility of those in law enforcement, and the far-reaching consequences of abused power.